Hey guys, welcome to this unboxing video for Eldar Windrider Jetbikes. So before I open the box, I know this kit's been out about 6 months now, so it's not the newest of the new kits, but it's still pretty new, and one that not necessarily everyone will have seen inside of, although if you've been playing 40k you'll have definitely seen these guys on the table, because in the new Eldar Codex they are a really solid choice. They're troops, so they have objectives secured if you take a CAD, and they are fast, and they've had a big upgrade to their firepower, as now every jet bike in the squad can take either a scatter laser or a shuriken cannon. This kit itself is a big improvement on the old kit. The old Eldar Jetbike kit was so old. It came out before I started playing the game when I was 11. To put that into perspective, I'm now 30, so that kit had a nearly 20-year run, but this new one is a big improvement. They look a lot sleeker, a bit more detail on them, and the riders are more in line with the look of the current Eldar Guardians. So let's get into the box and take a look what we've got. Okay, so firstly we've got standard bases. These are the 40k flying bases and the stands for them. Each base comes with 2 stands, which is really handy because I've built a few kits of these before, and I do find that sometimes the stands break, so having a spare stand to just switch out is really handy. Unfortunately they've got these new style ball top things, which does allow the model to be a bit more posable, but I find makes it less stable, which is a bit of a pain in the butt when you're actually trying to play a game with them. But you know, they're not as bad at this as it is on some models. I think the High Elf Frostheart Phoenix suffers terribly for these ball joints, but they're okay on the jet bikes. Instruction manual tells you how to put them together. It's pretty high quality as an instruction manual goes, but to be honest, the kit itself is pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you've done these type of models before, you should need to barely refer to this, but you know, it's there if you need it. And you got slider transfers. Eldar transfers kit, really nice. You've got all the transfers for all the major craft worlds and a few that you might not necessarily have heard of. You've got all the aspect symbols on there, and yeah, these are a good thing, and I'm planning to use the Biltan symbols on there on my Eldar army to give them a bit more ornamentation. Right, onto the models themselves. So you get these 3 kits, and these 3 sprues are practically identical. So you get 1, 2, 3, and the only difference is one of them has a slightly different torso for the rider, but that's absolutely fine because they're a really nice kit. You know, why need to change them? And each sprue is 1 jet bike, which is really handy. So if you break them off, you've got 1 jet bike, 2 jet bike, and 3 jet bikes. So you know all the bits for that one model are on the 1 sprue. You get the full set of weapon options there, so you've got your scatter laser, you've got your shuriken cannon, and you've got your shuriken catapult if you want it, but to be honest, you don't see many of these anymore. The upgrades are only 10 points, and they give you 12 to 24 extra inches of range, more shots, better strength, just some seriously good guns there. The main chassis of the bike is 2 pieces, and then you've got your base of the carapace and the main part of the carapace, and or canopy should I say. You've got your rider up here, so it's all fully contained in 1 kit. So I'm going to go ahead and build these up, and I'm probably going to do some magnetizing on the weapons, because the weapon mounts on these work really nicely for magnetizing. If you look at the mount there, you see it's approximately the same size as the neodymium magnets that I use, and then the mounting for it is where is it? I think it's when you join the 2 parts of the main chassis together, you get your mounting point for it there, and that is a nice little hole. You can get the magnet in there easily, so they're a great idea for magnetizing, particularly the switching out the scatter laser and the shuriken cannon, because they do slightly different jobs in the game, but are both good choices. So I'm going to build these up, magnetize them, and then I'll show you what I've got when they're done. Okay, so there we have it, the full squad of Windrider Jetbikes all built up. As you can see, the kit makes 3 and they're all pretty much identical. Went together really nicely. The Games Workshop plastics are just so good these days. There's so much detail, yet they almost always just go together exactly as they should. So always a joy to build with Games Workshop plastics. A couple of things to note about the models. Firstly, the riders. Now these are all a separate component from the bikes. You build up the riders separately, and I've left them not stuck on, because when I paint these I want to paint the riders and then paint the bikes as a separate component and stick them all on at the end. So that's one of the nice things about the kit, is that the rider is completely separate. You can build him up and just stick him on once you've painted them. The other thing is, like I said I was going to do, I did do some magnetizing here. So you see this gun on the front there, just pops right off, and I get another one. That's the Shuriken cannon, so we'll stick on a scatter laser instead, and there we go, that just clips right into place, and there's your scatter laser. You can magnetize the Shuriken catapults as well, but I really don't see much use for them in the game these days. The other options are just so superior. As for how I did the magnetization, under there I've just stuck a 3mm by 1mm neodymium magnet in there, and that's a hole that exists naturally on there. And then on the weapon option, hang on if I can get this to focus, there we go. So I just clipped off the little tab that should fit in there and replaced it with another magnet, obviously being careful to watch the polarization, and boom, just clips into place. So that's them. As for the bases, the hole on this that goes into there, it feels almost a little too loose when you first put the model together, but from experience I find that they work all right once the model's actually painted. It's like just the extra little bit of thickness to the model that the paint gives just allows it to sit better in there. You see, he won't go on very well there, but this guy that I've painted up earlier, he sits lovely in there. And yeah, this is one that I painted earlier. As you can see, I've got the Biltan scheme on here with the thorn vines pattern. So yeah, that's the Eldar Jetbikes. Hope you like this video. If you're interested in how I painted this guy, I'm soon going to be using these new bikes for a painting tutorial, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you like this, hit the like button. If you want to see more like this, then subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye.